Okay, well, let's take a rectangular prism. Okay, and these are rounded off, but for our purposes, it's close enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do centimeters, okay, because it's a little bit more easy to track. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure one direction, okay, and start at all the way at the end of the ruler, and I measure all the way across. And I'll put my finger here just so that I can show you guys what it ends up being. So first part is to find the area, all right? And so it's right here at 22 centimeters. You can round, to the nearest half, or you can go to the nearest centimeter if you want to, okay? So I'm at 22 centimeters, and then I went one direction, so now I need to go the other direction. And it's right here. So that is 7 centimeters. So I got 22 times 7. I get 154. All right, so then I can take my formula, my volume times my base times my height. All right, well, what is my height? If this is my base area, my height is going to be this direction. So I go ahead and measure that. And again, I get 7. So I plug that in. Volume equals 154 times 7. And then I could write down, once I get my answer, volume equals 1,078, and this is going to be centimeters cubed. That's what I ended up with. 1,078 centimeters cubed. That's the little 3 at the top. Okay, let's try finding the volume of this Rubik's Cube. Okay, and I'm going to use cubic centimeters. So first thing I need to do is find out the base area. Okay, the nice thing about a cube is once I figure out one side, I can just multiply that by itself to get the base area, and then multiply it by itself again, since this is a perfect cube. So I really only have one measurement to take, but it's going to be a little bit on the tricky side because it's 5.5 centimeters. Okay, you're welcome to use calculators, okay, if you want to do that. Or if you're going to use a calculator, you got to convert 1/2 into a decimal, which is 5.5 times 5.5. I get 30.25. Okay, that's the base area. So volume equals 30.25 times 5.5. We did 5.5 times 5.5. Oops. Times 5.5. Golly. 166.375. Okay, let's look at a triangular prism. Let's measure a triangular prism. I have this triangular prism here, okay? And I could figure out the volume by using our base area times height. So the base area is going to be the triangular side, okay? So let me measure that. And I have got 5. It's hard to see here, but that's actually 5. And then let's look at my height. Oops, that's inches. My height is 3. So I have a height of 3. And the way I figure out is I have to get my base area, which area for a triangle is 1/2 base times height, right? So 1/2 of 5 times 3. The other way I can do it is base times height divided by 2. It's base times height divided by 2. See, 7.5. Okay, all right, well, what's my height? The height goes this way. So if I measure this, it takes me all the way to here, which is 14.5. So now my volume is equal to the base area, which was 7.5, times 14.5. $108.75, or 108 3/4. Okay, the last one I got here is this cylinder. Okay, so this gets a little tricky. All right, but let's do this. I'm going to start by measuring the diameter. Okay, and I'm going to do the internal diameter so that I am not getting all mixed up. Okay, basically I'm looking for where the widest point is. It looks like 9 centimeters. Okay, from the diameter I can deduce the radius. Okay, the radius is just half that amount. Okay, so that would be 4.5. Okay, so the radius is 4.5. The area, okay, of the two-dimensional shape is going to be pi r squared. Okay, so pi r squared, or 3.14159 times the radius of 4.5 squared. And I get 20.25, and I multiply that by pi. And I'm going to just go all the way out to here so I can get as close to accurate as I possibly can. And I get 63.6171. Okay, so I'm going to go 63.617. All right, so I'm just going to do that much. 63.617. Now I need my height. And that's going to be this guy. So let's measure the height. And I'm going to go from the inside, okay, because it's what this thing can hold. So I'm going to go from the inside, not from the outside. So I'm going from the inside, and I'm going to get all the way to here, which is 18.5. So now I've got 18.5. Put that up there. And I'm going to take my base area. To get the volume, I'm going to take my base area and multiply it by my height. So my base area right here, and I'm going to multiply it by my height of 18.5. And I end up with 1,176. I'm going to round up to the nearest cubic centimeter. So I end up with 1177 centimeters cubed. 1177 centimeters cubed.